Okay, we're going to go through this final section of the sugya, and just to make sure that we understand what's going on. So, we saw ibayit aim, second answer. Right? If you want, if you want, I could say, it's Rabbi Shimon, it's Rabbi Shimon, Ditanya. Now we're going to have a Breita. Remember, the first answer to Kaman it was Rabbi Yehuda, but we didn't have to quote the Breita because we know it already from before. But maybe it's Rabbi Shimon, and now we're going to get what Rabbi Shimon says, taught in the Breita. Right? Rabbi Shimon's going to come to the same conclusion, right? But he's going to get there differently. Okay. So what is Amar Rabbi Shimon? That's just a question word. Mipnei she'achal zeh, because this guy ate some meat and drank some wine. Aviv imo motzi'in oto lesaklo, his father and mother are going to take him out to stone him. Right? You just make it into a question. But when you say it like that, it's not just a question. It's puzzled, shocked, even ridiculing. Really? Because he ate some meat and drank some wine, they're going to take him out and stone him? Okay. Now you pause here and you say, wait, I know this question. We had exactly this question before. When Rabbi Yossi Haglili, right, in the Breita about Nidon al Shem Sofo, we saw him saying, really? We're going to stone him because he did this? And what was his response? No, we're not stoning him because of that. We're stoning him because of this other thing. We're not stoning him because of what he did now. We're stoning him because what he did now we know is going to lead to this next thing and this next thing, and ultimately to this later thing we're trying to avoid. So his sort of incredulous question, he says, is this the reason? No, there's another reason. Now, what does Rabbi Shimon say? Ella, right? Just because he ate some meat and drank some wine, we're going to take him out and stone him? Rather, lo haya v'lo atid lihiyot. It never was and never will be. Right? So he ends up with the same answer as Rabbi Yehuda. It never happened, never will happen. So Rabbi Yossi Haglili said, we stone him for this, and what he did was he said, no, here's why we stoned him. He provided a justification, a defense of the Torah's law. Rabbi Shimon asked the same question, but he doesn't defend it. He says, no, it is ridiculous. Of course we never did it and we're never going to do it. Who would ever do that? Right? Now, you really have to think about how that's different from Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda got to that by saying, you see this word in the verse? This word ben means that this type of kid can't be, and that type of kid can't be. These words zolel v'soveh tell us that he can't be unless he does this and this and this. This word kolenu actually tells us that they have to be identical, which is so narrow that it doesn't exist anymore. It turns out there never was and never will be. No one could ever measure up to that. Whereas Rabbi Shimon says, really? You think we're going to do that? I don't think so. Okay. There are two very different ways of looking at and addressing what's troubling about this passage. Okay, now Rabbi Yonatan. He says, Ani re'itiv, I saw him or I saw it. V'yashavti el kivro, I sat in his grave. Whose grave? Of a Ben Surah Moreh. In other words, he's saying, No, no, no. It really happened. It really did. Right? Did he actually sit on a grave? I don't know. What I do know is that he's objecting to Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda's conclusion. He's objecting to the notion that it never was and never will be. He's saying, no, no, it did happen. It can happen. Why? Fundamentally, I think it's because the Torah says it. How can you possibly say that something the Torah tells us to do never happened? Right. Okay. Now, we're going to put this all together on Thursday. So now you should at least have a clear sense of what the different approaches